this is our annual tribute to Black History Month, done by the Senior Serenaders in Helen Hall. You're going to be seeing lots of great things today, with one of the skits being the dream of the four little girls in Birmingham. So we're really looking forward to it, and we're really excited about the whole day today. And so if there's any, please, we want to have some good applause. And we're going to be doing lots of different things for the afternoon. And does everybody, Helen, do people have?
I gave them the list everybody.
Okay, so you guys have the agenda for today.
No, they don't have the agenda.
Oh, it's a surprise.
They'll have to listen to my mouth for the agenda.
Oh, it's a surprise. I get it. That's what they want me to say. So enjoy it, everybody. This is one of my favorite programs of the year. So I'm really pleased that you guys were able. It's a nice day, nice and warm that you're able to come out today and do it, and no snow and no rain. So thank you. You guys are my favorites. If you don't know, the Senior Serenaders were on television, on cable access, and on YouTube. And the troopers went during a snowstorm, right?
That's right.
So it was a really fun, and you can do it on demand as well on cable access. All right, so thank you guys very much, and enjoy.
We can have it. You got one.
Welcome, friends and members of the Stoughton Center. We hope you will enjoy our special Black History musical program presented by our Stoughton Senior Serenaders. Our program will have gospel and spiritual musical selections. We will travel from the African experience to the American plantation experiences, to freedom and emancipation for African American slaves. Our musical will highlight famous African Americans and their accomplishments. Some you may be aware of, and others you may not know much about. The program and presentations were written, produced, and directed by Helen Hall, director of the Stoughton Senior Serenaders. Included in this program are excerpts from Dr. Martin Luther King's speeches, an excerpt from the Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, poems from our Holland Renaissance poet Langston Hughes, along with biographical background on famous African American heroes and heroines. Would you please join us in singing the song, The Star-Spangled Banner, or Say Can with poetry songs performed by members of the Stoughton Senior Serenaders. My name is Christine Teasley Terry, and I will be your narrator.
We stand kumbaya Our first song is an African song, Kumbaya. Those in the group that stand, stand. Those that sit, sit. You do not need your book, as you know, for Kumbaya.
We know that one.
All right, that's what I said. If you know it, please join us. We're going to do drum. Ready? Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Oh Lord. Kumbaya. Someone sleeping, Lord. Kumbaya. Someone sleeping, Lord. Kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord. Kumbaya. Oh Lord. Kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord. Kumbaya. Someone's singing, Lord. Kumbaya. Someone's singing, Lord. Kumbaya. Oh Lord. Praying. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Praying. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Interesting. Kumbaya. I think they're hard of hearing. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Oh Lord. I think my group was very nervous about it, but they were supposed to say sleeping, as some of you know. They were supposed to say singing, as some of you know. And they were supposed to say praying, as some of you know. But I think my lead was a little nervous. But thank you all very much. Mary Rivero. Mary Rivero. Mary Rivero.
Where are you?
Where are you?
54, where are you?
Langston Hughes was a very famous poet that lived in Harlem. Mary Rivera is going to tell you a little bit about him.
The Negro Speaks of Rivers, read by Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes was born in Joplin, Missouri in 1902. It was during his high school years that he began writing poetry. He moved to Harlem, New York in November 1924, and his first book of poetry, The Weary Blues, was published by Alfred A. Knopf in 1926. 3 years later, he finished his college education. Hughes is known for his portrayals of black life in America, and his art reflects strong jazz influence. His writing is essential to the body of work produced during the Harlem Renaissance. He was also the author of numerous novels, short stories, and plays. Langston Hughes died in 1967.
One of his very famous poems was The Negro Speaks of Rivers, written by Langston Hughes. I've known rivers. I've known rivers ancient as the world, and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when the dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans. And I've seen its muddy, muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, dusty rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. Back in the days, we had the slave traders come, and they took them from the Congo and from the eastern part of Africa and from wherever, all the way from Ethiopia. And they brought them here, and they brought them that one of the captains on the boat was so upset. And I found out later he was supposed to have been from New Bedford. Whether that's true or not, I'll have to research it. But he wrote, Amazing Grace. If you know it, join us. In the audience, if you know it, sing along with us. Ready? Drum. After the slave trade, there were certain slaves that didn't want to remain slaves. And one was Harriet Tubman. Marcia Perry will tell you a little bit about her role as Harriet Tubman.
I was born a slave on a plantation in Maryland. I was born Arminta Ross. My father's name was Benjamin Ross, and my mother's Harriet Green. My parents had 11 children. Some were sold into the deeper southern plantations, and some remained with me. Well, my childhood wasn't too good. I was made to watch the children of the plantation sower. At the age of 5, if the child cried, I was beaten. While I was about 11 years old, I got hit in the head with a shovel for trying to help a slave who was going to get whipped. I got hit so hard that I passed out and was unconscious for days, so I was told. All I know, I would have very severe headaches and blackouts after that. Anyway, I met and married a free black man named John Tubman. And then I changed my first name to Harriet, like my mother's. But as you know, slaves were not considered married, even if they were supposed to be married to a free black. We jumped over a broom to be married. So one day, I heard that I and some others were going to be sold to another plantation. I decided I would run away. I could not take any more of this kind of living, but my husband did not want to leave. He was too scared that he might get caught and lose his status as a free black. And you know what that meant. So he did not go.
And so Harriet left. And she met a friendly white woman who was a Quaker, who helped her to get to Delaware, and she met William Stills, another Quaker who has connection to the Underground Railroad.
I had to find my way to those places he told me about for contacts to help me with food and stuff. So I followed the North Star because I was going north. I got to Pennsylvania, but decided that I had to go back to get my parents, brothers and sisters, and others who wanted to be free. Songs were sung as signals to let slaves know when I was coming. Once they were committed to go, I told them there would be no turning back whatsoever. We waded through water to throw off the bloodhounds. Plantation owners had put a $40,000 bounty on my head, but that did not stop me. I brought out more than 300 slaves to freedom, not only to northern U.S. states, but all the way into Canada, where many lived in St. Catharines and Nova Scotia, even to this day. I made 19 trips back and forth to get people out. Well, I fought with the Union Army, moved to Auburn, New York, founded the Harriet Tubman settlement houses for indigent families, especially women coming up from plantations after slavery ended. I married again and lived the rest of my life in Auburn, New York. My legacy lives on right here in Boston, Massachusetts. There is the Harriet Tubman House and a statue of me on Columbus Avenue in Boston. I was 93 years old when I died. You can visit my home, which is a museum in Auburn, New York. Yes, yes, yes. What a life I had. I was never caught. I survived all kinds of danger. I believe with God on my side, I was known as Black Moses.
Thank you, Mark. Songs that were sung were signals, because, you know, they didn't want the slaves to know how to read and write. But they had taught them Christianity. And so a lot of the songs that they learned, and the spirituals that they wrote themselves, they became signals to let you know when Harriet Tubman was coming. One of the songs that they had was Old Man River. Another one was Steal Away. Another one was Go Down Moses. Another, Wade in the Water. They had Hush Hush, Somebody's Calling My Name. We will start with Hush Hush, Somebody's Calling My Name, and then we'll go into Old Man River, Steal Away, Go Down Moses, Wade in the Water, and Swing Low, Sweet Cherry. Hush Hush, Somebody's Calling My Name. You do not need the book for Hush Hush, and you can stay seated for that. I'd like the drums behind that. And hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh Lordy, hush, hush, Sharon and all.
Steal away, steal away, steal away to Jesus. Steal away home. I ain't got long to stay here. Steal away, steal away, steal away to Jesus. Steal away home. I ain't got long to stay here.
slaves got freed. And there were those that became inventors. We had Jan Maxliga, that was right over here in Lynn, Mass. And he started the shoe company that became the #1 shoe company throughout the world, so that you had the last with the shoe and the sole were connected together. That was developed by a black man named Jan Maxliga. We also had our lights. Garrett A. Morgan had our lights out, our traffic lights. And a lot of that had to do with his invention. These inventions are on file in the archives of Washington, D.C. You had Dr. George Washington Carver that made over 300 inventions from linoleum like what you're sitting on right now. If you look down on the floor, from the peanuts. He made a lot of the development for his invention from the peanut. And you also had Percy Julian, and had Julian Labs right over here in Canton that did the good with people that had all types of ailments from diabetes all the way through. And those labs are still in existence today. We had also different people like Dr. Martin Luther King that came out with civil rights. And we had people like Rosa Parks. And we had people like Violet Rizzo, the white lady that helped with the voter registration. We had the 4 young men that got lynched trying to deal with voter registration. We had sit-in demonstrations. We had a lot of things. But there were 4 little girls that were down in the church in Birmingham, Alabama. And Kerry Jackson is going to tell us something about the dreams of the 4 little girls in Birmingham, Alabama.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm going to tell you about my 3 friends first that weren't here. Carol Denise McNair, the eldest child of Chris and Maxine McNair, a photo shop owner and a school teacher. She attended Center Street Elementary School, where she counted Condoleezza Rice among her school friends. She was a member of the Brownies and played baseball, and had a well-developed social conscience, helping to raise money for charity by staging plays, dance routines, and poetry readings in the family carport. And she was a member of the 16th Baptist Church in Birmingham. My other friend, Cynthia Wesley, which was one of the 4 girls, she was the adopted daughter of Claude Wesley and his wife Gertrude. They were both teachers. They lived on Dynamite Hill in Smithfield. Cynthia attended Alman High School, where she excelled in reading and math and played in the band. My other friend, Addie Collins, she was born the daughter of Julius and Alice Collins. She was one of 7 children. She attended Hill Elementary School and was an enthusiastic softball player and budding artist. She was also a member of the 16th Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Carol Robinson. My mama's name is Alvin, and my daddy's name is Alpha. And, well, I'm sorry, my mama's name is Alpha, my daddy's name is Alvin. And they both work at the elementary school. When I was at the elementary school, I sang in the choir. My daddy is a leader of the marching band, and my mama was a librarian. But now I'm in high school, and I belong to the choir there, and I'm in the marching band, and I am also a member of the science club. Now, I also belong to Jack and Jill. And Jack and Jill is an organization mainly made up from, mainly African American people go, but anybody can come. And what it is just an organization where the adults who are dedicated to children help them along the way. And I think that's why I have straight A's, because they help me out so much. And their motto is, with the proper dedication and guidance, any child can be a leader. But I think I gotta go now, but I just want to ask you all one question. Did you like my necklace? And my shoes, my mama bought them for me. But I do have to go now because we have to go upstairs to a sermon. Okay? Boom! I feel so at peace. Who said that? God? Is Is that really you? What happened, Lord? The church blew up? Wow. Oh my God, did they catch who did it, Lord? Boy, I sure wish I knew somebody that could tell me if those people would get caught. Wait a minute, Lord. You know everything. Can you tell me if those people got caught that blew up the church? I won't tell nobody that you told me, Lord. Okay, I'm listening. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let me see if I got this right. There were 4 members of the Ku Klux Klan. One of the members got out of the car and placed sticks of dynamite underneath the church steps. Okay? And they were on a timer. All right, well, okay. So it wasn't until 1977 until somebody got caught. And the only reason why was because they had a new attorney general that reopened the case. Because at first, they didn't want to give any of the information. So it wasn't until they got a new attorney general. All right, so in 1977, one of them got caught and was tried and convicted, sent to jail. Okay? And then the other one wasn't caught until 2001, tried and convicted and went to jail. The third one, 2002, was caught, tried and convicted and sent to jail. But Lord, you said there was 4. What happened to the 4th one? He died before he could ever be charged. Oh, wow, Lord, that's terrible. But why would people do that, Lord? All just because of the color of my skin and because they think they're superior? Lord, I know that's not what you want us to do here on earth. You want everybody to get along. Really? There's a center made after my name? The Carol Robinson Center for Children? Wow. You know, Lord, I wanted to be a historian. And now I'm making history. Lord, I look down there at my family. I know they're going to be all right. But I wish I could go back there. But I know this is where you want me. I understand that, Lord. And you know what? I feel so good up here. I think I'm going to walk around heaven all day and hang out with you. Is that all right? Okay. Yes? I understand all that, Lord. There's a light in the darkness, and the night is black as my skin. There's a light shining bright, showing me the way, 'cause I know where I've been. There's a cry in the distance, and the cry comes from deep within. There's
a motherless child. In that case, we have nobody to turn me around. So we're going to let Christine, I don't know, T, did you say, T? Where's T? Didn't give it up. What? No, it wasn't only for certain people. If not, we'll take it ourselves. Sometimes
I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Away from home.
you know it, sing it. Everybody now, sometimes. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. A long way from home. We have, that was Christine. We have two young men with us today, and they're going to give you some 13 statements for peace. Now your name, I know it, but I want you to tell your own name.
My name is Joey Gomes.
And
My name is Manny Lopes. Right here I have 13 Steps of Peace created by Joey Gomes. And I'm going to list them off for you. Step 1, spend some time each day quietly reflecting on how we would like to relate to ourselves and others. Step 2, remember that all human beings have the same needs. Step 3, check our intention to see if we are as interested in others getting their needs met as our own. Step 4, when asking someone to do something, check first to see if we are making a request or a demand. Step 5, instead of saying what we don't want someone to do, say what we do want the person to do. Step 6, instead of saying what we want someone to be, say what action we'd like the person to take that we hope will help the person be that way. Step 7, before agreeing or disagreeing with anyone's opinions, try to tune into what the person is feeling and needing. Step 8, instead of saying no, say what needs of ours prevents us from saying yes. Step 9, if we are feeling upset, think about what needs of ours is not being met and what we could do to meet it, instead of thinking about what's wrong with others or ourselves. Step 10, instead of praising someone who did something we like, express our gratitude by telling the person what need of ours that action met. Step 11, encourage love, unity, faith. Step 12, promote hope, courage, justice, forgiveness. Step 13, put neighbor back into the hood and it will become good.
steps to peace. And I was hoping there'd be some young people, but some of us older people can let the young people know there's a way that you can deal without having to go out there in today's world and do some of the things you're doing in a very harmful way. And that's why we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I will believe that we shall overcome someday. One more time, we shall overcome. We shall was Martin Luther King. Someone that believed in that was Martin Luther King. And if Charles would come forward, we're going to have an excerpt from one. As you know, Martin Luther King was born January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. He was the son of the Reverend Martin Luther King Sr. and Alberta Williams King. According to his father, the attendant physician mistakenly entered first Michael on Martin Jr.'s birth certificate. King entered Morehouse College at the age of 15 as he skipped his 9th and 12th high school grades without formally graduating. In 1948, he graduated from Morehouse with a bachelor's BA degree in sociology and enrolled in Crozier Theological Seminary in Chester, Pennsylvania. He was extremely smart. In 1951, King began his doctoral studies in theology at Boston University and received his PhD in 1955. As you know, he was the famous leader of the American Civil Rights Movement, a political activist and a Baptist minister. In 1964, King became the youngest man to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his work as a peacemaker promoting nonviolence and equal treatment for different races. On April 4, 1968, King was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. In 1977, he was posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Jimmy Carter. In 1986, Martin Luther King Day was established as a United States holiday, only the fourth federal holiday to honor an individual, the other three being in honor of Jesus of Nazareth, George Washington, and Christopher Columbus. In 2004, King was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal. He was also known as a great public speaker. Dr. King often called for personal responsibility in fostering world peace. One of his famous, well-known public addresses is, you know, I Have a Dream speech, but that was delivered on the steps of Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. But there was another that almost looked like he was prophesizing his future.
It was April 3rd, 1968, at the Mason Temple Church of God in Christ at World Headquarters, that Reverend King told the crowd that was there at that time, I've been to the mountaintop, and you know, it really doesn't matter what happens now. Some began to talk about the threats that were out and what would happen to me from our friends, our sick white brothers. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity, you know, has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He has allowed me to go up to the mountain and to look over, and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as people will get to the promised land. And I'm so happy today. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine have seen the eyes. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. And as you know, he was assassinated the following day.
At this time, we will sing Lift Our Charlie, Deliverance. And before we go to our final song of Lift Every Voice and Sing, I'd like to thank T, would you please stand? Christine, Mary Ribeiro, Charlie's up there, Joey, and could you two stand? Mary Ribeiro, Mary, thank you. Okay, okay. Christine, could you please stand? The reason, and I want to thank my members from the Lighthouse Church. Could you please stand? Did I miss anybody? Okay. All right, thank you all. The reason I'm saying this is because we had some, thank you all, could you have a seat? That we had some bad weather, as you know. We had some very bad weather. And a lot of the rehearsal times were scheduled on days that we had the snow. Okay? The snow, just like the other day, we were supposed to have our final rehearsal, and the snow came plowing down here like I don't know what, all over the place, so we couldn't do it. 2 of our members did show, and that was really great of them to do so, but we couldn't do the whole program. I've been doing shows so many times, I know you also always have to have an alternate. And because I know that, as I was planning this and seeing what was happening with the weather, thank goodness that there were members of my Lighthouse Church that I play for, I'm the musical director there, that knew that I was really going through many things. As far as weather, I cannot control God. God controls everything. I just have to accept whatever is there. But the little changes I can make, I made. We were going to do a taping at the Comcast cable. And that morning it snowed like I don't know what. But I want those 7 members that were there. Shirley, who is a new member, could you please stand? Come on, Shirley. Janie. Mary Ribeiro. Rosemarie. Christine. I don't see Dicey. Pauline. Pauline's right there? Okay. Okay. Those 7 showed up. And as a result of those 7 and all that weather, I think a round of applause. And the other thing that happened, they were so impressed with them at Comcast, they put them on YouTube. Now, you know, and they asked, I said, well, put down, if you want to put, I know how YouTube works, put down this telephone number if they want to get in touch. Well, I don't know how they got a hold of mine, but anybody trying to call me in the last few days, they was saying you couldn't get through. I had from the yin yang calling me for those 7 people. And I thought about Dave Berger, who once said that maybe we should have a show group and split the group up. And I said, no, because you got to deal with whether people can always make it. But that was what they were saying, David Berger. They were saying, can we have those 7 people? Can we have those 7 people? I said to some that I was able to respond to, but I couldn't respond to all, there was too many. I said, I'll talk to you all in the month of March, and maybe in the month of April. But right now, I want to thank those 7 for putting us on YouTube. And they got a CD of the whole thing, but I wanted to say the dedication of the group is great. We did a program today where we didn't have the rehearsal. The only thing they had was the outline, what I had given them at the last meeting, which we had was either the end of January or the first week in February. And I think all of them need a big round of applause. I have to do, as I always do, I have to do some changes within, but they're starting to understand me so much that I was able to make these changes. Thank you, Chorus. Thank you, Chorus. I know some of you looking at me say, it doesn't say that on the program. But I had to make those changes, not only because of the time. I knew what the time was because our technician had told me about the time. And I knew the time of certain other individuals here. But I want you to know that this is one fabulous group of people. The Senior Serenaders of Stoughton and all that you've seen. Can we give them a big round of applause? I want to thank my drummer here, and I call him my #1 supporter in the church. He's always right there in the front. This young man right there, he sits right there in front. So can we have a round of applause? Okay, and I'd like for Masha and Kerry and Sharon to stand right here, because I know they stood before, but they're all from the Lighthouse. My Lighthouse choir. Lift Debbie Boyce, can I have T come over so she can start? We're waiting for you. Everybody has a copy. listen to, talk about later, even laugh about, and enjoy. Have a great day. God bless you all for being here.
God bless you, Alice.